Yes. Hello and welcome everybody to our new video. This will be the version 2 of leveling build for Barbarian for the first season. This will be the double swing, everyone's favorite, especially our boys. Some of you requested this build, so here we go. This will also be in the description down below. I already have planned out all the aspects, which are obtainable through the codex, which means you run the dungeon once and you get the aspect. There is no RNG involved, you just have to clear it. So basically, double swing is amazing in one thing. It excels at resource management, the Fury, which Barb struggled a lot early on. So once we start hunting only elites, this build definitely comes on top. I really like Abibel too. I might play Abibel to a certain point and then go double swing or vice versa, but we'll see about that. So basic skill is optional. You can go either play for the vulnerability, which is very good. I know this may seem like a low chance, but it procs very often. I tried it, so I might be taking this for bosses, but I will start with lunging strike for the mobility. Next up, we get core skill. We will go with double swing. The great thing about double swing is this right here. If you damage, stun, or knock down enemy, aka ground stomp, we will take it later. You get a full refund of the skill. It costs fury, 25 fury, and you will get 25 fury as a return. Another great thing about double swing, you can make mobs, elites, or just enemies non-stop vulnerable. So basically you don't even need like flay at this point if you go with that, or you can go and decide with berserking, make your build perma berserk this early on. If you have a source of berserk, let's say Warcry later, or yeah, we don't have enough crit chance to proc this berserk, but it's up to you. You can go with this one. I am a big fan of vulnerable. I discussed this many times in my other videos, other builds, so I'll go with that. We need 1 more points. I'm gonna put it in double swing, even more damage. Now next up, you can go either ground stomp to make use of this passive, but I will probably go with rallying cry for the resource generation. It gives you movement speed, so you can move faster from pack to pack of mobs. Gives you resource generation, gives you unstoppable. Unstoppable is CC immunity, hands down the strongest status in this game. Very important. We got 2 more points, so you could either go for double swing for damage, but I will probably go here for the stun on ground stomp. We could also go for fury here, but we have another row opened up. Now here you could go either for Warcry for the damage, you could go for leap for the mobility, and I'll probably go with this one. That gives you fury too. We might spec out from this one, or you could even go for movement speed. So this is very optional. I will see how these go, but I'll probably go with leap. Might even go with 1 point. Probably not even necessary to go with fury. I would rather put a point in the ground stomp because this is just more accessible, I would say. Even though this is 40 fury, but still. I will just use this moving from pack to pack, I guess. It should be your opener though, so this is pretty optional, up to you. But to save points and to max out double swing for more damage, I would go with Fury here. We got 3 more points. You could go into movement speed or double swing. Max it out. It's up to you at this point. But I will probably go with movement speed because leap is 17-second cooldown. It's still quite a lot. We could actually go for this point right here, so to lower the cooldown if you use it as a mobility. But I would say we're gonna use this for on mobs as an opener. So I would say this is like too much conditional of a passive. So 3 points in here. Next up, we got weapon mastery. We will definitely want to go with chains. The great combination, the great combo for double swing is steel grasp into ground stomp, and you can just slash them away with double swing because all the mobs are gonna be grouped up thanks to steel grasp, and every mob will be either knocked down on the ground or stunned once again for this passive. So we're gonna go for this one. It gives you even more vulnerable. So this, before you start swinging, they will already be vulnerable. So even that first hit of double swing will, deal that extra damage. And here we go with berserking. So this will be our proc. Great thing about this is my favorite skill for Barbarian. It's very low cooldown. It's 2 charges. Gives you just too much. Pulls mobs together, which solves the AoE problem with double swing. It gives you berserking, and vulnerable is just too good. Now we got 4 more points for the next node. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 skills right now. So next up, we can just max out double swing for the damage. Yes. We got 1 more point. I will most likely go for extra HP because we probably will want to have this by the time we are 50. Helps with capstones as well once you're gonna clear them. Now we have unlocked the what's it called? We have unlocked the ultimate skills. Now here, you would want to go with Iron Maelstrom to speedrun or like, just clear, speed clear. Very good. So I'm gonna reset. It's gonna reset my tree right now because we're gonna replace it for the leap. So let's do it like that. One more point here into health to unlock this ultimate. So we max out Maelstrom. Now there is a thing where we want to use two ultimates, like swap between two, right? So this is for AoE and just elites, but single target and bosses definitely call the ancients, because if you press this, you can just spam your core skill like no other. It's a great bonus from this call the ancients. I can see this make it into endgame because it's really great. Once you find more ways to reduce cooldown, maybe there's gonna be a way with the new malignant jewels and whatnot. So we'll see. Now we need several more points. This is up to your deciding. I would want to run with at least one handed mace and then sword to proc expertise for both. For mace you get more damage to stun enemy. For sword you get attack speed when you kill a target, CC target. Also for the crit damage implicit on the sword. So I would probably go with Valop because once again, iron mobs are non-vulnerable and this is a great source for damage. Next up, we could go for Concussion for the stun, but we already have Anemia and Berserk Ripping, or just, 200. Your technique should be 200 Sword from Barbarian class quest for the bleed. And we will have Anemia from a Court Dragon dungeon in Fractured Peaks. So no need for Concussion, I would say. So I would probably go for attack speed, because this, faster attack means higher DPS. One more point, you could go for either HP if you struggle with that. Or you could even go for, I really like this combination here. The heal from Invigorating Fury is very powerful. Also, if you just spam a double swing with no cost, pretty much, it counts for this one, so it's very helpful. But since we got one more point, I like round numbers and full, full passives and whatnot, so I'm gonna go with this, right? Just to double check, we got Lunging Strike, Double Swing, 4 skills, 5, 6, perfect. And then we don't have enough. We don't have like a good management for Fury, I would say at this level, at this point, because with Unbridled Rage, the double swing will be 50 Fury, and there's just too much. So even if you hit stunned enemies, you will get it will be 25 Fury. Even if you go with Rallying Cry, the Fury, the resist generation is not enough. So I would just go with Unconstrained at this point. We have a good source for Berserking. And that way, actually, with this, we can have non-stop uptime berserking. Thanks to Steel Grass, if you rotate those two charges, then it's no problem, and it gives you 25% damage. We don't have we don't have one more skill to apply Walking Arsenal. Yes, Walking Arsenal can be procced from Maelstrom, but the cooldown is too long. And with Maelstrom, you actually need to keybind your Lunging Strike to two-handed weapon. So this cooldown reduction can be procced on Supreme Iron Maelstrom. So keep in mind, we are starting with 5 points, thanks to thanks to Renown from the Eternal Realm, which is Altars of Lilith and Areas Discovered. So 5 points. This should be at level 29, if my math is correct. So we are looking at 55 points here, which would be level 50 for us, because 5 extra points are from Renown. And by the time you're 50, you might even finish another skill point, which is the third one, but we're just gonna keep it at the 55 points. So, like I said, I would go for the healing here, Invigorating Fury. I really like this one. Next up, I will probably go with Pit Fighter because I'm a big fan of this passive. It gives you both offensive and defensive, so DR is very important. You could even pick this earlier if you struggle with survivability, which I might do the same. Now we could go with No Mercy for one thing. So we have already bleed from 200 sword technique, yes. And this one, if you immobilize, stun, slow enemy, just CC enemy, you get crit chance increase. And if you pick Hamstring here, your bleed affects slow enemies, right? Once again, 200 sword technique applies bleed, berserk ripping. We might have that aspect too, as you could see in the platter. So I'll go with this one to apply the CC. We get like 10 more skill points. Let's take a look what we got. We could max out Groundstone to have like faster rotation, faster combos if you want. You could go with Prolific Fury for more Fury generation. if you struggle, if you feel like you struggle. Also, if you are struggling with survivability, you can change Rallying Cry or not Iron Maelstrom, because you will go with Call of the Ancients, for example, on bosses. But you could change Rallying Cry, go for Challenging Shout for the damage reduction. You could definitely go for that. Why not? At this point, we'll see what kind of crit chance we have, but we could go with extra Lunging Strike. You could even, early on, you could even put 1 point in bleeding, because 20% bleeding at first on those mobs is very powerful. You can just, Lunging Strike from mob to mob, and they would die from bleeding, so it's no problem. Because Flay has how much? 36 is much higher. But yeah, the bleeding overall is very powerful, even on bosses. So like 9 more points. I'm not sure our 45 would be enough at this point to pick counter-offensive with Numbing Breath. If it's enough, we would want to go for this one. But I'll probably go with Concussion here for the stun. It's pretty good. We could honestly go for Furious Impulse. Same story, because we're going to be swapping between Lunging Strike and Double Swing. So let's go ahead and do that. Because if you can get Aspect Limitless Rage, which you deal more damage if you overcap Fury, then even better. Next points, the last 3 points, I will most likely put them into Ground Stomp to lower the cooldown and to, have easier time with comboing. So 1, 2, 3. And I would say this will be our build. So once again, single target, you want to use Call of the Ancients instead of Maelstrom. And if you're struggling with survivability, you will change Rallying Cry for Challenging Shout. Rallying Cry, yeah. And max HP here. I would go on Fury. That's kind of good. Always good to have enough Fury, because if your combo is on cooldown, aka Ground Stomp, so you cannot utilize this passive, then you will still need that Fury generation, right? So yeah, this concludes the double swing. I hope you guys will enjoy this build. I sure will. Already played it on my ult, and it's very powerful, insane, especially solo. But even on a group, like on those bosses and leads, it's very important. And yeah, good luck to everybody. I'm streaming every day on Twitch, so the link will be down in the description, as well as the link to this planner for Diablo builds. Once you get the gear, by the way, you can put gear with stats and whatnot. Upgrades, item power. Same goes for the weapons. It will show you the DPS, and it will also apply to this DPS meter. So I'm a big fan of this one. So with that, you can test around, play around with certain affixes on gear, compare which one is good, which one is better, which one gives you more DPS. And in config, you can then change, like if you're berserking, it's gonna increase your damage, and how many altars you have. It's gonna increase your stats, aka damage too. Voltier for the resistances and whatnot. Good stuff, good stuff. But you guys have a good one. Enjoy the season. Good luck to you all, and I'll see you soon, hopefully. I might release a couple more videos before the season. But until then, have a good one, everybody, and peace out.